Good morning. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and rocking with us for another edition of the Morning Breeze, man. Always rocking with you guys, as always, man. Outside of me, I got my guy, Mr. Media himself, Jordan Jeanty, in the building. Yet again, Ashton Jeanty hinting that he wants to be a Chicago Bear. And so we're going to have a conversation about everybody the Bears should take outside of Ashton Jeanty. That's right. I kid. Honestly, I want to have a conversation about all of the names that could go in this draft that makes sense for the Chicago Bears. I feel like a lot of people have locked in on Ashton Jeanty. But there's some really good running backs in here. I'm very intrigued by Travion Henderson. Very intrigued.
All right.
Yeah, I'm tingly, baby. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? Picking up what I'm putting down?
I'm picking it up.
The Chicago Bears were very present at the Texas Pro Day. Couple of names on the list that I think are exciting. I think there's some future prospects on the list that you could take later on in the draft. We're going to talk about all the names that stood out a little bit at that Texas Pro Day and showed you a little something that maybe, just maybe, gets you tingly as well. All that and more in today's episode of the Morning Breeze. The date is 3/26/2025, 7:03 in the morning. And Jordan JC, 2 days in a row and you're awake. Welcome. How you doing? There we go.
I'm back, baby. I'm back.
Oh,
don't you worry.
This guy's got something marinating. I'll tell you that much.
That's right. It's called a heartbeat. Jesus.
Oh, he's awake. He's awake.
I won't fail you guys anymore. Maybe.
Yeah, more than likely. If I counted your failures,
oh no,
you could not stand before me.
Oh,
that's the scripture. I
fall on the mercy of the court.
You know what I mean? I just thought about that. I was like, wait a minute. Like, ain't that what God said to Job? Ain't that what that was?
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Corey,
was that Aaron? No, not Aaron. Was that Abraham? I think that was Abraham, maybe.
Yes.
If I counted your sins, you could not stand before me, Judge.
I'm sorry. Please don't look against your sins. Please.
Oh, God, what a morning, man. That's how you start it off right there. Get a little scripture in the day and start things off exciting. And not talking about Ashton Jeanty. There we go. Hey, appreciate you for tuning in and show and love it. That like button, subscribe to the page. Leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do.
Come on. Push the button. Come on. Push the button. Come on, push the button.
Yeah, come on, push the button.
You heard what she said.
Y'all heard what Sue Young said. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, man. Push the button. Push the goddamn button.
Never gets old.
It doesn't. I love it every time. JC, how you feeling this morning, my guy?
Oh, hey, as you said, I'm here. I'm wide awake, man. 2 days in a row. Let's make it a winning streak, baby.
That's a streak. I'll take a streak. That's a nice little streak.
For the go. Yes.
By the way, I don't know if anybody saw this yesterday, and I didn't talk about it specifically. May have to break this down on a video on its own here. But
what do we got?
Anybody get a chance to take a look at Mike Green's pro day yesterday?
No,
I'm not saying, but I'm just saying.
Is he getting back into the atmosphere?
Jordan Schultz talked about this, my boy. Well, listen, he never left my top 10. It is what it is. But Mike Green measured at 6'3" and 1/8.
All right.
At 248 pounds. And posted a jaw-dropping 425 shuttle and a 6.85 3-cone drill at his pro day on Monday. For context, for an NFL edge, a 3-cone time in the NFL is 7.2. And Green, of course, led the nation with 17 sacks last season. So watching my scouts, coaches, and 28 NFL teams. I don't believe the Bears are represented there, so it's probably not going to happen. And there's been a growing buzz of him as a potential top 10 to 15 pick.
I got to be honest. I probably should have picked him for our little contest we had. I was
Yeah.
going for Campbell. I
Not
should have went
confident
my
in the
green.
Campbell now, huh?
I should have went my green
Not
for the
confident in the
red.
Campbell pick. I'm
Dang
telling you, dog. He's a monster. He's a monster. Anybody who resets an offensive line every time they decide to go to an offensive line, go at an offensive line, is somebody you keep an eye on. Well, let's start it off here, Jordan JC. Running back room is terrible. We talked about that yesterday on the Morning Breeze because Andre Swift is meh. Roshan Johnson is dead. Ian Wheeler was hurt, and Travis Homer plays special teams.
There it is.
There it is. There it is. So we do need an improvement. I am willing to come to the table with you sycophants for Ashton Jeanty that we do need improvement at the running back position. But y'all know me. I'm not taking a running back 10. I have acquiesced to the fact that we probably will end up taking a running back more than likely in the second round.
All right, come on, level with me.
I'm not tingling on that either, but there are some really good names there, and I think even Omarion Hampton maybe has fallen a little bit and could be possibly in there. Travion Johnson is a name to keep an eye on, but let's start it off here. Let's go through just the guys that stand out for you at the running back position outside of Ashton Jeanty. Who catches your fancy there, Jordan JC?
Well, I mean, you got the two guys out of Ohio State. I think Ohio State always brings in really good prospects every year, as usual for the draft. So Travion Henderson is one that really stuck out. And then obviously Judkins as well. Both running backs are really, really good pieces, really good tandems. I feel like if they both kind of, I wouldn't say were in the way of each other for their team, I would say like it was almost kind of like how you had Bijan and Roshan on Texas. It's like you knew Bijan was the main guy, but then you also knew Roshan had some potential as the backup running back. That's how I feel about Judkins and Travion Henderson. Travion Henderson is actually probably going to come out of college as the best pass blocking running back as well.
Oh yeah,
but he's got some speed. So there's the allure there for the Bears. If you want to talk about a back that can kind of do it all, Henderson is that guy that can give you the speed, the breakout speed, but he also can give you that pass blocking ability, an extra blocker in there for Caleb Williams. I love that. Obviously, we talked about Caleb Johnson from Iowa, a guy who to me kind of looks and runs like a Najee Harris type, that kind of fits the mold of the Bears run game. And then, of course, like you mentioned before, Omarion Hampton, who's kind of taken a little bit of a fall. Don't know why, but there's always names that just somehow just fall down the board.
It's just more so people moving up. I don't think it's him. I think it's just more. I mean, when we started our draft breakdown and stuff like that, right? Like, there were a bunch of guys who were like, oh, he'll be like a early second round pick that now we're like, yo, this dude might be top 15. It was like, oh, okay,
exactly.
all right, well, that changes things.
Yeah. And so now it might turn into him, maybe being available at 39. We don't know. We don't know how much of a fall, but those are the names that I look at. Then of course you got the Cam Scatterbows. There's DJ Giddens. You got a lot of good names.
Then you got an actual dark horse running back, don't you? Didn't you actually find an actual dark horse running back?
Oh, you know what I did? Yeah. I gotta do my little research. I'm gonna look back on that in a minute. Yeah. I gotta look up the name because I do remember there wasn't a real dark horse. I know I always joke with that, but there's a guy that you probably can get in later rounds. Yeah, he's not going to be going in the first and second. He's a guy you would love. So I'll look that up in a minute. But yeah, no, there's a slew of guys.
Any running back that could be taken around that Tory Taylor time, I'm all in on. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about?
I can't stand you. Free Tory Taylor.
You don't even have he's free.
Somewhere.
Yeah, you keep saying free Tory Taylor. Free him from what? He's free. He was so free, we saw him more than Caleb.
Sick of it, man.
Hey, listen, I'll say this. I think Omarion Hampton and Travion Henderson are the two that I'm really looking at, both for the pass blocking reasons that you said. Hampton to me, I think, is somebody who out of the backfield is one of the top pass catching guys, one of the guys that I do look at and feel like, okay, this is a dual threat back. I've kind of shifted off my Forte tape the more I've watched his tape. because the difference that I see with him, not to say size, speed, all of that, I think is very much the same. But Forte had a little more wiggle. Forte was a little more shifty. Omarion looked like he want to take your soul sometimes. Like he really like Omarion be like, I'm in the middle. I'm 6 feet tall. Get out my way. Yeah, I mean, like I don't know if you thought I was a 5'5" running back. I am not. I will take your soul. So I do wonder if I think that almost a little Monty-ish. If you want to go thunder and lightning there.
David Montgomery?
Almost a little Monty to his game.
I think he's a little better, I'm be honest. As far as like the speed and the
No,
you know what? Porter Ellison. Porter Ellison. I like that one.
Who?
I like Nick Chubb. The Nick Chubb comparison. I like that
one.
I
mean, I ain't say Nick Chubb because Nick Chubb was like the whole defensive line would be on him and he'd still be like getting 5-6 yards.
Like, you're coming with me.
Carrying him across the finish line. What was the friggin' buck and call it a wild? It's like put weights on it. No, I'm not stopping. You can't stop me. But no, man, listen, I think that if the Bears were to take somebody that high, that fit a mold that Ben Johnson was looking for, that to me, I wouldn't be mad at an Omarion Hampton. I think the other guy that we talked about, right, was Travion Henderson. If you want to have the term no block, no rock for wide receivers, does it apply to running backs? Because Travion Henderson is not, he's not tall. He's 5'10". You know what I mean? Like he's solid size for a running back. And he will absolutely saw you in half.
I love the word.
If you are a defensive, he will just saw you in half. Like I mean, as far as pass blocking goes, like as crazy as it is to say, because he's smaller in stature and in frame, he kind of gives me the Rojo vibes with the blocking. And if you have questions on Roschon Johnson right now, if you feel like Roschon Johnson is not going to be a part of the future of this team, if you will, for lack of a better term, because it does seem like, there might be he might be the odd man out in this whole running back room, right? DeAndre Swift makes $8 million. Guess what? You make $8 million, you're getting on the field. I'm not putting you on the field. Roschon Johnson being the odd man out, DeAndre Swift ain't blocking. That's the one thing we do know with the Bears.
I don't think he can.
Somebody like that. But also, I think it's also the fact that not only just the blocking aspect of it, but he's also really good out of the back. He's got some really good speed. I think that he is kind of the shifty back that could be. Now, I think him and DeAndre Swift are very similar in a lot of ways there, in how they run. The pass catching, though, I think is a little bit better in my mind than what Swift has been able to provide over the last couple of years. And I'll throw this out to you, Jordan JC. You might just need to reset who's probably the lead back in that running back room right now, just for the simple fact because I don't think DeAndre Swift for the last couple of seasons, not just with the Bears. Here comes all he only ran behind the Bears offensive line. No, he ran behind Philly's offensive line. And Saquon Barkley managed to almost break the rushing record. You telling me this dude couldn't get me 1,400 yards? Saquon Barkley almost ran for 2,000 plus yards, and this mug is sitting here struggling to get 1,100. Like, all right, bro. But I think the trust is not there for DeAndre Swift. And what I mean by that is a lot of times, right, and rightfully so last season with the Bears offensive line, it was poor. And so he wasn't trusting that the blocking was going to be there. There were times where he needed to bounce it to the outside, and he didn't. He didn't trust that block was going to be there. He tried to create something on his own, cut back up too early, and oftentimes ran into contact. He also did that in Philly with a good offensive line. He also did that a little bit in Detroit. And I think it's why they were okay moving on from him. I truly wonder if you need to bring somebody new in, bring some new blood in, bring a new eyes in, just for the simple fact that it doesn't seem like DeAndre Swift trust the system. And if you got Ben Johnson as your coach, you kind of have to trust the system.
Well, I mean, if that's the case, and DeAndre doesn't trust the system, and Ben Johnson doesn't trust DeAndre, then we clearly got some trust issues. So yeah, I would love to bring in some competition at the very least. No, I mean we know what DeAndre does well, and we know what he does poorly. I mean, he's not the type of back to me that looks like he'll just be a straight liner if he sees, oh, he's always trying to juke somebody out of his shoes. Like you're wasting time in the backfield trying to, shuck and jive when you should be just going straight up the gut. When you see
a better term than shuck and jive. I get it. We black on here, but that was crazy.
Oh, actually, my bad. My bad. That was the first thing that came to my mind.
Dancing for a sheckling back there. Jesus Christ.
Took us back a few years. My bad. My apologies.
Black back there shucking and jiving. What?
Oh, sorry.
Relax.
Jesus.
My God.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry, guys. Oh boy! Oh, dang it!
Oh my!
I know right there. That is oh my. But my thing,
that felt racist.
What are you talking about? But anyway, I just felt like I'm trying to get past it, and it actually is funnier the more I think about it. I'm sorry, guys. That literally was the first thing that came into my mind. I was trying to be horrible.
Jesus Christ.
Anyway, DeAndre, his weaknesses are just bad. Steve-O, I hate you for that.
No, you ain't getting past that.
I hate you.
Relentless Mikey said, hello, my baby.
Hello, darling. Hello, my ragtime girl.
Right.
Oh, God. Okay.
Thank
all right.
God we're black.
I get it.
Oh,
okay.
my God. You would not have pushed past that if you were of the other skin.
Oh, close in Roots Part 8.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
Let's
we
reset.
good?
Yeah, let me divert attention real quick. Free Tory!
No, you can't put it on Tory Taylor.
Oh my God! I'm just gonna put a nice bow on this and just say that DeAndre Swift is not who we need. We need a replacement, and I'm fine with any of these guys that replace him. If DeAndre still is going to be here, then he clearly needs to fill a different role because he's not going to be the lead back. There's plenty of lead backs you can get in this draft.
Hey, that's like Steve-O said former plantation owner coffin just moved. Hey, bro. That felt like remember when RG3 was going, he was trying to say bugaboos, but he said the other one.
Yes.
He's like, that's why he's out here running and running. Like, Jesus, RG3.
Literally the first thing that came to my mind. There was no ill will behind it. No ill will at all. Oh, my fault, guys. If anybody I offended, I apologize.
Oh man, listen, I don't know if anybody got offended. It's more funny than anything.
Not just like, hey, all right, okay. That's what we're going with.
Oh God. If I had said it, they'd have said the slave owner coming out of Pat.
Your other side of you.
Moonglow said, and your mama's side eye. This chat is villainous. Oh my God.
That is true, Crimson. We just kind of just move on.
That was phenomenal.
By the way, side note, I did find the running back that I found as a dark horse.
Oh, you got as your dark horse now.
Yeah.
Dark horse after that comment is right move, but here we go.
Okay, the running back from Arkansas, if you look at his film, he had a horrible 40 time. He was like 4.75. But if you actually look at the film for Jaquindon Jackson, running back out of Arkansas,
right there.
Jaquindon Jackson, he actually could be a workhorse back. You can get him in the 5th and 6th round. You're talking about maybe getting your starting running back, and if you want to get a backup, kind of in what Roshan should have been, I would take a Jaquindon Jackson. Go check out the tape on him and actually put eyes on him because he plays way better than what his 40 time is. He's 229 pounds, 6'2". He's a monster. He's a monster.
I almost knocked the mic over when I saw this size. Hold on, I might need to take a look at something.
No. He's a beast in size. He will knock you out of the way. And so you want to talk about a speed. Thunder combination. Yeah, he's the guy that you all need to kind of not overlook. I would take him in the later
Was
rounds.
he the lead back in that running back? He got
he's a
15 touchdowns on 800 yards.
Yep. That's the guy. Remember who was the guy at Detroit that was like the goal line back for Detroit before it was Jameer and David Montgomery that had like 18 touchdowns that one year?
Jamal Williams. He's a Jamal Williams type.
He's a Jamal Williams.
Okay.
You want that guy as your backup. He's a Jamal Williams.
I'm pretty sure Jamal Williams is like 5'9". This fucking a monster.
This dude is in the mode of some meaty running back. So that's my guy.
I've got no tape breakdown on this young man.
Check him out.
Oh, most drafted by the Chicago Bears on PFF though. Okay.
Yep.
Just a quick breakdown on the dark horse. Let me put these glasses back on. That was hilarious, dog. That was phenomenal. That was phenomenal, bro. Yeah. Pros for him on PFF. Now, again, I haven't looked at any of his tapes. So I'm just going off of what they're saying right now. Fluid movement skills for a taller, bigger back, long strides, generate solid getaway speed, decent footwork for his size, strong frame to develop into a reliable pass protector. I don't like developing. You're 6'2". You can't block a couple.
I mean, he's the fifth round. You got to develop a little bit.
6'2", 240. You're a defensive end. You can't block a couple of people. Good top end speed once he builds momentum, particularly effective in zone blocking schemes. Okay, so he got the blocking. He's got the blocking. Needs to recognize when to lower his shoulder and fight for extra yards. Again, okay. Higher pad level limits natural balance and yards after contact. Tends to cut too much in pass protection instead of using his size to absorb rushers. Lack of full-time experience at running back leads to occasional second guessing and inconsistent vision. Okay, all right. I'm gonna have to tap in with this. That's a that is a pure. That's a
I can't. I'm not living this thing.
You're not getting
it can't be a legit nickname now.
Dewan Threats with the super chat on it, bro. JC out here shucking and jiving them picks. The blackest name is Dark Horse.
Jaquindon.
You did go Jaquindon Jackson right after.
Oh my God. They calling me Jiving JC now.
Oh no, we're not doing Jiving JC.
They calling me Jiving JC.
Jiving JC might be it. That's what Steve said.
Oh man.
Oh, I mean, that did just mean joking back in the day. This might be the greatest joke ever. Jiving JC coming down with his Dark Horse picks. Who you got, brother?
Trevion Henderson, everybody.
Jaquindon. Oh, God. Oh, where's Kool-Aid McKinstry when you need it?
And Jaquindon.
Moonglow said, JC, I sent that clip to Al Sharp. You'll be expecting a call.
Oh, boy.
Hey, man, 160 in the building, 37 likes on the video. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page.
Love y'all.
Y'all know what to do. This is the greatest chat in the world, bro. Hey, rocking with us in the morning here, man. If you ain't hit that like button off of this episode, you're tweaking, brother. You're tweaking. Is there anybody else on the running back market before we take a quick break here that has stood out to you? I mean, like that to me, that there is a, for lack of a better word, a slew of running backs that to me just. I mean, we talked about, of course, the big names, Quinshon Judkins and guys like that, but like I'd be interested in Dylan Sampson. Are you fully out on Caleb Johnson? You didn't bring Caleb Johnson up at all. Are you fully?
No, I did. I said from Iowa.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. He's like the second tier. If like you pass up on the Omarion, who might not be there at 39, maybe he might go just a little bit earlier, and you don't get Ashton at 10. Caleb is supposedly supposed to be that third guy. Now, there could be Trevion pushing up the board and being the third guy. So there'd be maybe some competition there. Caleb Johnson, I'm fine with if you were to continue to go back and maybe he's there at 39 or 41 or even if he's there at 72. Like, I feel like his speed is what hinders him from being a top draft pick. And that'll kind of like lower his value. But what he brings in the other areas, as we just mentioned with Jaquindon and other running backs, is that he has the power. He has the ability to kind of bull rush and get yards after contact. And so that's where his game kind of peaks. So I'm fine with Caleb Johnson as a second tier choice.
I think somebody else that'd be interesting, just to appease New Harper, and I have seen some of his tape. I think that he's been he's gone from a walk-on to an NFL prospect. So big shout out to him. But DJ Giddens has just been,
yeah.
I mean, like he is one of the late round guys. If I was going to go with you probably get him third round, maybe falls to the fourth, depending on who moves up the board. But to me, he's somebody who you want to talk about, one of the best guys with vision in the draft. Always seems to find the hole no matter what. Shout out to him. Wow, what a hole. Got a little wiggle to him. He's a big boy now. He's a little bit bigger. He's 6'1", 212. So kind of a slender, but like got the height to him. Does a good job, I think, in the pass pro game. Does a good job getting low and not like some of the issues that were brought up with your boy out of Jaquindon. What was his name? Jaquindon Jackson. Some of the issues blocking wise that were brought up with Jaquindon. Giddens just doesn't have it. The 40 time on him was ridiculous as well.
Yeah.
I think that the balance, I think that the vision, it's the pairing of that gets me kind of excited. The only thing, and it could just be a lack of use, because he catches the ball somewhat well, but there hasn't been a ton of vision for, or there hasn't been a ton of usage, I should say, for him in the passing game.
Yeah.
Which I think it could hinder him a little bit there.
That is true. And I do have another name that might be a good segue into our next topic, actually, would be the Texas running back Jaden Blue, 6 foot, 200 pounds. He actually ran a 4.38. That's a guy who has a good blend of power and speed as well that you got to look at. Don't overlook him. Yeah,
really solid names. I think the point of all of this is there's no need to go get Ashton Jeanty. That's what I'm saying. He just named you 13 names to get us all tingly. And we're going to take a quick break here. We'll be back on the other side. And I do want to talk about the Texas running back and a lot of the pieces from Texas, because not only was Ryan Poles present, but Eric Bieniemy present at the Texas Pro Day. We're going to take a quick break, listening to a word from our sponsors, and behind the scenes, JC will be shucking and jiving. Appreciate you guys for tuning in and watching the show. Today's episode of the podcast is brought to you by Aura. Have you ever done a Google search on your own name? You'd be surprised what pops up. Your full name, email address, home address, health records, your relatives. It's all out there. And that's why I've been using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests just for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it protects me from hackers who could use that information to help them access my social media, bank accounts, and other sensitive information. It's really simple to set up. I don't have to download several apps or go to things like antivirus, VPN, password management, parental controls, identity theft, but you can get all of that in one place with Aura. I get everything at one affordable price as well. You may already have one or two of these tools, but not having Aura is like leaving the front door locked while leaving the back door and windows wide open. For you to be able to take advantage of Aura, we got a special deal for you here today. Stop data brokers from exposing your personal information. Go to my sponsor at https:/aura.com/the Windy City. Again, that is aura.com/the Windy City to get a 14-day free trial and see how much of your information is being sold. Welcome back to the Windy City Breeze. Normally we start with the music and Jordan JC here, but for legal reasons, we had to remove him from the show. Oh, he said free me. No, we can't free you. We can't. You got to go back. You got to go back. Oh God!
I'm gonna get a call from Al Sharpton. I'm gonna get a call from Jesse Jackson.
They call you. Thank God it's not February.
Get a call from what's your boy's name? They used to argue with Kevin Samuels.
Oh, you getting a call from why can't I think of old boy name? I know you exactly.
Exactly. Umar, Dr. Umar.
You get it? Now look here, brother. There will be no jiving in this place of business. Oh, dog. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love as always, man. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page, leave a 5-star review. Y'all know what to do. Talked about a lot of running backs not named Ashton Jeanty that could make a heck of a lot of sense for the Chicago Bears here to start the morning off. Now we got to talk about this Texas Pro Day. Chicago Bears well represented at the Texas Pro Day. Ryan Poles down there, Eric Bieniemy down there as well. Couple of important pieces. JC brought up the Texas running back and some of the things that he was able to show out at the Pro Day. There was a lot of guys showing out at the Pro Day here, doing their thing out there on the track, just jiving it up. But But I thought some of the names that I thought were interesting. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's names that me and you have been talking about the entire time. Like Silas Bolt had a solid 40 time. He ran a 4.38. That's nice. The football don't pair up with it. Isaiah Bond 4.34, just still fast. I mean, looks phenomenal. We talked about him as possibly adding speed to the picture for the Chicago Bears, and we've I mean, we kind of got our wide receiver room, I would say, solidly set right now with Olamide Zaccheaus in there. But it doesn't mean that you can't continue to build depth.
That's right. Yeah, keep them coming.
For me, looking at some of the names at the Texas Pro Day, I do feel like most of them are just depth coming into the league right now. But again, anybody can win a job at any point. Opportunities will be created. I would think at this point, if you take Isaiah Bond, just cut Tyler Scott. Let's stop the experiment. Like if you take Isaiah Bond, it's just like, we hate you. Like, I haven't seen much of your game, but we hate you. Like I mean, let him go. Let him go try and get on somewhere else. But out of this Texas Pro Day, Jordan JC, what were your thoughts that not only that the Bears were well represented down there, but some of the people that might have stood out?
No, I mean the Texas has a lot of prospects that I hadn't even realized. I overlooked just the crop of players that they have that are going to be all scattered throughout this draft, not just in the first round, but all over. You know, of course, you got quarterback Quinn Ewers, you got defensive tackle Alfred Collins that could go in the second round. Outside of offensive tackle Kelvin Bakes, you also got the other tackle in Cameron Williams. We talked about Isaiah Bond. His counterpart, his teammate who might go before him is Matthew Golden. A lot of people are talking about Matthew Golden being maybe that second wide receiver coming out after Ted McMillan in the first round. And then, of course, Jaden Blue. As I'm seeing in the chat, not only I saw 4.38, they said that he ran a 4.25 40 yesterday, and so that's speed. That is crazy speed. Now, a lot of people are saying that the Texas grass is a little faster or whatever.
I was gonna say I didn't see him get listed as a 4.25 on the.
I see a couple of people saying that he ran pretty fast yesterday, outside of what he had. But I mean, regardless, the guy's quick. The guy can move. We know that, and so maybe he's a guy that you look at again as somebody. If you're passing up Ashton, if you're passing up Omarion, you're addressing other needs or addressing just depth at other positions like guard or tackle. Then I'm fine with you getting the Jaden Blue. But the biggest name for me here, you're not looking at Matthew Golden. He's a first rounder. You're not looking at Quinn Ewers. You got a quarterback already. And you might be looking at someone like maybe an Alfred Collins as a defensive tackle in the second round. You got 2 second-round picks, so maybe that's a name that intrigues you, big guy. But Isaiah Bond is the guy that I'm really intrigued and I'm pinpointing in on if I'm, Ben Johnson, because as you mentioned, we did bring in some really nice pieces for the wide receiver 3. Zacchaeus is someone who can block. He can get the rock as well and make some things happen after contact. And so I like that initial move, but if we're talking about the depth and like you said, maybe not having Tyler Scott on the roster, this is not their guy. Tyler Scott is someone who was drafted, by the last regime. And so it's clearly not Ben Johnson's guy. And so why would he even be around? Why would Ben Johnson, stick with him? And so Isaiah Bond is a guy, 4.3 speed, can shift. If you look at it on tape, he can move. He looks like he moves.
Shift, right?
Yeah, SHIFT. Yeah, let me make sure. I got to make sure my words are clear this time. I didn't say a few things. All right, okay.
Did you say shuck? Did you say shift?
I didn't say shuck. I said shift.
Oh, okay, all right.
Shifting and jiving. All right.
Oh boy, no. You just got away from it.
But Isaiah Bond is my main focus here. If we're talking about outside of all the prospects, I think Kelvin Banks took it kind of a bit of a slide. You got Armand Membu that's in the top 10 now. You got the Will Campbell's that's talking Joshua Simmons. I feel like Kelvin Banks might have slid into that third or fourth offensive tackle being taken, and so that's where I have those guys.
I wonder if people are viewing Kelvin Banks not as a starter now.
That's crazy.
I wonder that. Well, here's the thing. Kelvin Banks is for sure, and Tommy Waddle talked about this yesterday with me. He's a mauler, right? On that left side, when you see him, he's somebody he uses his aggression, uses his size to get on you real quick and attack. He's more of a mauler than he is a left tackle. So he projects as a guard. Not to say guard is not needed in this draft, but I wonder if people kind of like if they're looking at the fact that like, okay, yes, we need a guard, but also like there are guards in the draft that we can go after versus drafting a guy and converting him. I wonder if if the perception is changing, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm starting to see mock drafts where Kelvin Banks ain't going to like the 20s. And now I'm not sitting here telling you that the mock drafts mean anything. Kelvin Banks go freaking 7 because somebody falls in love with him. But like it does speak to, it seems like there's been a major falling out of love as other guys have gotten better and as we've gotten closer to the draft. I mean, even for me, right? Like Kelvin Banks was at the start of it probably one of the top guys that I was looking for the Bears to get at 10 if he was there. Now I'm a ride with Ben on whatever he do, but I'd almost be a little upset if we took Kelvin Banks at 10.
I would too.
Like it feels like you'd be like, oh, okay, we got him.
That seems like a trade back type of thing. Like you can get him at 15 or 20. Yeah, like I wouldn't settle for Kelvin Banks at this point. I feel like,
and that's what it feels like. It feels like you would be settling if you went out and you took a Kelvin Banks at 10 because all of the other guys are off of the board. All the other guys are not there. Somebody that I do think, and listen, I need his stock to stay as low as possible because I'm still in on him. And I am fine with him falling in this draft. I think that you got to build depth on this team. You have to have pieces that for hopefully you don't have to utilize it, but could have to come into a game and help you out in a pinch there. Jake Majors had a strong day from what I'm hearing. Showed that he is a pro, showed that he is in one of the better pass blockers still in this draft to me. Run block is a little bit less, so he would have to improve on that. But I mean, Jake Majors, I'm seeing him go in 5th round, 6th round mocks here.
Oh, really? Wow.
I mean, I don't know what happened. Like it went from like 2nd, 3rd round to like we don't need him. I think that he's the kind of center that you want on your team. 6'3", 315 pounds, moves his feet really well. If you're talking about the possibility of having somebody on the team who can come in a pinch if Dahlman is banged up or something like that, learning under Drew Dahlman. Of course, Drew Dahlman being the starter here, but also while you're sitting on the bench, get this guy cross-trained. Help him out with some guard spots, right? Maybe he finds a way to the guard. Maybe, I mean, that's how a lot of these guys come in is especially in the later rounds. Hey, you're a center, but also you need to learn every spot on this offensive line, because if you learn how to play the guard position, guess what? I love Joe Tooney. Joe Tooney's probably going to be here 2 years, maybe 3. You're going to need somebody to take up that mantle. I think that Jake Majors is the perfect kind of player for that. I would be very interested to see what he could do at the NFL level. And if you get a chance at him, I would take a shot.
I think Drew Dahlman, in a different scenario, if Drew Dahlman was, say, a little bit older at 30 years old, we got him at 29, 30, 31, 32 range, kind of where Tooney is right now, I would be more on board with, getting Jake Majors. I still understand where you're coming from as far as like taking a chance on a guy who's going to go in a later round and you develop him. But would you be kind of wasting time, though, outside of injury, with somebody who's 26 being Drew Dahlman and having a guy behind him who probably will have to sit for 4 or 5 years before he even gets a chance at starting? Or do you just say, hey, Dad,
I'm wasting time with a 5th round pick.
That's true. That's true. There's the balance that you.
Right now, I'm wasting time with a 4th round pick so he can punt all over the field, and it just no, it ain't Torrey no more. It's free you. Nope. Oh, you scratched out Torrey. You turned on Torrey the second you could. Torrey, this ain't about you no more.
Oh man,
can't get a new piece of paper out and write things again. This is free me. That's what you said.
I didn't have time. But no, it's one of those things where yes, I understand, like, injuries happen. So that would be a smart move to spend, your capital on, a backup center. If Drew goes down, then you develop a guy like Jake Majors. That would be a good backup plan. So, no, that's fine with me. That's fine with me. You're not wasting a pick technically if you're going that late.
Yeah, listen, I mean, I think that's the thing is I'm still looking for some of the depth. I'm still looking for some of the names that maybe you can get later on, where 4 or 5 years down the road, we're talking about, oh, we feel good. I want what the Rams can do. You know what I mean? Listen, I like the fact that we're able to get pieces and we can take pieces from the Rams and make some things happen, right? But I would rather be the Rams who go, yeah, we got this young guy in here and he's playing so well that we can get rid of you.
Yeah.
Not that I want to get rid of people. Listen, I want the starters to be great, and we never get rid of them until they old and decrepit. And it's like, oh, he played till he was 40. I want an offensive line that's in place for 50 years. Like,
that would be nice. Yeah.
I truly want to see the Bears have that surplus where, no disrespect to Jonah Jackson, but the Jonah Jackson situation can happen. Hey, people get hurt in the NFL. Oh, dang it, he got banged up. Who we got coming in? Oh, we got Jake Majors coming in. Okay, all right, let's see what he got. Oh, that's nice. I can see that sticking around here. How much he cost? 11 cents? Get this guy a jersey.
11 cents.
Get this guy a jersey. You know what I mean? I think those are the things for me that I would be intrigued to see. One more name that I think this is a late pull. But when I saw this,
okay,
I was a little surprised by this. Now, this guy is a super senior. I don't even know what you call him.
Super senior.
He's
been there 6 years. What is it? 6 years because of COVID or something?
My guy, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. He came in 2019, got the COVID year. Won with Georgia for 2 years. Okay. Went to Arizona for a year in 2023.
Oh, traveler.
Played last season with Texas. This guy's had an NFL career at the college level. But Bill Norton on the defensive line. He's a defensive interior guy. Good, strong name right there. You like a Norton?
Well, I like a Bill
Norton guy. Yeah, you like Bill Norton. Nothing wrong with Norton. Let me see if I can get an age on Bill Norton. Bill Norton's got to be 30.
Is he 30? I was about to say, 6 years in college. Yeah, he's pushing.
But the one thing that I do like about this and why I wouldn't mind taking a shot at it, because I think he probably ends up going later on in the draft. Nobody has an age on this guy. We don't say. We don't talk about
One of
Bill.
those things you keep secret because you know he's probably older than he should be.
Hold on. Bio. Maybe they got it here. They do not. Jesus, this guy's
Whoa.
we have no idea how old Bill is. But what I will say is, I mean, let's extrapolate. What are we saying? You go into college at 18 and 24,
24,
25, something like that.
Yeah.
King of the World said he got grandkids.
Hey, that's that Valus Jones range.
Yes, 100%, which is why you take him late and not in the third round like Ryan Poles did.
Yeah.
But what I thought was stood out to me was 25 reps on the bench press, which just means strong. 6'6", 335 pounds. To me, somebody who, if you want to take a chance on a defensive lineman, if you want to add some depth into that room as well, I think he would be an interesting name. And the part that excites me about it is not a big sack guy, but a guy who, bringing pressure in the middle. He knows his game already. 6 years in college, you know your game. You know what you're playing. You come in prepared. You come in able to hit the ground running. I think this wouldn't be a Valus Jones situation in the sense of Valus came in and had no idea how to do anything. I think this would be almost more of like when you draft, and Io DeSumo situation, right? Io DeSumo got drafted and was like, okay, well, I just play defense because I've been doing that.
That's a good point. Good.
You know what I mean? Like
comparison.
the situation where this guy knows his body already, he knows how he plays, he knows his style. I'm gonna just go out here and play football.
Do what I do.
When I saw the 25 reps, I was a little excited about that. But yeah, man, well represented at the Texas Pro Day. Chicago Bears have a
lot of prospects. Yeah,
a lot of prospects that they're going to be looking at. Let's get some top 30 visits are coming in. As I do believe, and I have this on good authority, Ashton Jeanty will be having a top 30 visit here. So this whole video,
of course. What do you expect? It's funny. All this talk and all this deflection from Ashton Jeanty and watch at 10, we'll both be wrong with our picks, and he's going to go there.
Well, you know why he won't go there? Because he'll be taken at 6.
And with Las Vegas?
Probably.
Whatever.
Pterodactyl Pop says so he did one rep for every year he was born.
That's pretty good.
Oh man, hey, we appreciate y'all for tuning in and showing love. If you haven't done so yet, before you get out of here, hit that like button, subscribe to the page.
That's right.
Make sure you tap in with us over on the Chicago Bears podcast. Check out yesterday's episode with Tom Waddle. Really, really insightful on some of the top 5 pieces that Waddle took a look at as well. Hit that like button as always, man. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. For the Jive and JC, it's your boy Pat the Decider back at it again. We'll be back with more content today as always, man. Y'all stay safe out there, Chicago. Bear down, one love. Peace.
Oh boy. It literally was the first thing that came to my mind. I had nothing else.
I thought y'all was shucking and jiving in here.
Oh. Miss your candy. Well, that character was something else.
I feel like he had way too much fun with that.
Of course.
He's like, wait a minute, I just get to be as wild as I want to be? Yeah, okay.
Who that there on that nag?
Who is that on that nag?
He gonna stay in the big house?
Oh, your daddy rolling over in his grave.